Welcome to Irreverent Knits. I am Tracy, owner of Low Country Shrimp and Knits, and with me is Judi. She's a little bit broken, but she is still the owner of Maggie Loves Yarn, whipping out some new products today. We'll talk about those coming up in just a minute. We've been a little bit irreverent ourselves because we've been, oh, we'll be here next week, oh, this week, and then Judi had to go. So Judi's...
One foot.
Judi's broken. So... I'm sorry you're broken, friend. It makes me sad for you.
It was because I was running after Maggie's yarns. I was going to go outside and get them. And she likes to run and try to dodge me out the door. So I went to shut the door. And I didn't shut it tight enough. And she clipped me. So I zigged, she zagged. I went flying. I have 2 broken bones in my foot.
2. She's got to be so extra. She can't just go, look, I've got this slight hairline fracture. No, she's got a boot the size of
2.
Egypt.
I do. I hope they put me in a smaller one or something. This thing is a pain in the ass.
I know. And well, so then, of course, because she's the middle child, as we've told you many, many times, the doctor's like, don't walk on it. Use your crutches. And then she forces me to kidnap her on Monday because, you know, that's how she do. And we had a rep meeting with the Manos de Uruguay rep, which was amazing. We'll talk about that. But then 2 seconds later, she gets a call. I see her walking around on the boot. I'm like, dang it!
It was much easier than trying to drag out the crutches. So she brings me Troy's...
it's my husband.
knee cart.
Yeah, well, we've got a little scooter.
Which is like a 3-wheel tricycle.
It's awesome.
It is. It's like... I don't think these are the ones I see the old people using.
I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure.
I think those fold. So I've been racing around the house in it until this morning before I left, because we have white walls, we have white cupboards in the kitchen. That's in the corner. You might want to get out some wipes because there's tire treads. I don't quite have the 3 turnaround.
She's hit everything but the lottery in her house.
There's tire treads on all the cupboard doors.
Yeah, so I'm sure my husband. I didn't do any research, but I will guarantee you it's probably like the Ferrari of scooters.
It is. So it's awesome. I took it to the mailbox the other day. I was like, that was fun. We have a little curve of the driveway. It was fun because it has brakes. It has brakes. So I went down. Getting up, I was like, okay, get up. I'm going this way. I was like,
why is nobody recording this?
I made it. I was like, I didn't think this through.
Well, it's got a basket because I
love my basket.
Yeah, it's got the basket because the first day, Judi would be like, I put this down and then I walk over it and I put it down and then I walk over it and I put it like, oh my God, you poor thing.
We were eating leftover taco salad last night. Gordon says, you want help? I went, nope. I threw it in a Tupperware, put the lid on, threw it in the basket, and I got this baby when I walked.
Except poor Maggie, who is the dog that the yarn is named after.
She's so upset.
She's so sad because, well, it wasn't really her fault.
Nah, I shouldn't have tried to outrun her.
Yeah.
And I tried to shut the door and she made it and I shouldn't have done that. And I was stepping down into the Carolina room at the same time.
Yeah.
So I go flying. I get up and Gordon says, you think it's broken? I went, I can walk on it. So I went out and got the yarn, brought it in. And then, so I did. I hit a plant and it knocked it over when I fell. So we finished. There was like half an inning left on the baseball game we were watching. So I finished it. And you know the saying that it's so true because my husband's the same way. The minute you say, okay, I'm ready to go, men say, I got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So I said, yeah, you know what? There's bumps coming up on the side. I think probably I should go in. Okay, so we put Maggie in the crate. I get ready. I start to try and hobble out to the car. He's getting out the vacuum cleaner. I'm like, what are you doing? Well, I want to get that dirt up before it gets into the carpet.
Really? Now you want to do this? Okay.
Nobody's out there dancing on it.
Right.
Go ahead.
You do you.
Yeah,
I'll just sit here bruising up.
I got him because, you know, he's a hypochondriac. So we go into Coastal and I sit there where they're going to, you know, register you in. And she goes, have you ever been here before? I went, oh, many times. But not for me. My husband's a hypochondriac. I said, I know everybody back there. I know where the restrooms are, the cafeteria. No problem. I'm really good friends with, I know all the TV stations you can get out of here. And Gordon's like, really? Yeah, well, it's true. He says, yeah, you're right.
At least he's a good sport about it. Well, and then, you know, so we had a very fabulously fun day on Monday. So I met with a new rep, Vicky.
Oh, it was so much fun, and she's wonderful. I
She's
love her.
terrific. She was great. So we're really excited because we're going to introduce Manos de Uruguay, who I've been wanting to get here for a long time. And it's a great organization because what they do is they work with local artisans and people in Uruguay and all over the place to support the local business. And so it really is a great organization, and the yarn is absolutely to die for. So
Yeah, I wasn't going to miss this wrap.
yeah,
If
no,
I was in the hospital, you were all coming. She was going to lay it out on the hospital bed so I could see it. I'm
literally,
serious.
I felt so guilty. I'm like, I get to Judy's house. She's like, well, come pick me up. I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Are you sure? Like, you don't need to be, like, I can do this. You don't. She's like, I'm coming. I'm like, okay. So I pull in. The garage door is open. I'm like, okay. She's sitting in a chair. She's got her crutches in one hand and the garage remote in the other.
I was ready. I was ready.
She's like, I'm coming. I'm like, okay. So we looked at some beautiful stuff. So we are going to introduce, these are not actual colors that I'm going to have in the shop. These are just some samples for me to play with. But this one is called Alegría. This where we're going to add Alegría Grande because it is a little bit thicker. It's a more chunky weight. So, and we're doing mostly variegated because I do have a lot of solids here and I wanted to add more variegated to my collection. So we've got...
And this is perfect for a lot of Andrea Mowry stuff.
Yes.
Where you do the shift and night shift
Yep.
and shifting towards Uruguay or whatever. and these are the colors that you want to use.
And
you
they
know?
pop, and they really pop. So we had looked at this. This is a silky kind of blend. These colors, I can't wait for this one.
colors.
So this is a color I am going to offer here. It's called Meadow, and this one is in Feliz, which means happy. And we're going to also have this one that's got a little bit of linen in it, which is great for the summer anywhere, but especially in the low country where not
I
only
can't
is it...
wait to try that.
I know it. Look at here it is also again in Meadow. I love this colorway. So this one's called Milo, and this Feliz I already showed you. So these are what we're
But
working
tell
with.
about you're going to have your own special.
I am. So they're going to put together, we've chosen 5 mini skeins that kind of represent the shop. So it's going to have colors from my logo. They're very jewel tones. And so it is going to be a collection from not only Low Country Shrimp and Knits, but it's also with Manos de Uruguay. So I'm very excited.
And I think you picked one. How many sets did you pick?
5. There's 5 different colorways.
Oh, you just got picked one set, though.
Yep, I picked
Okay.
one set of 5 different colorways, and so
It's
they're
very coastal, very jewel tone, under the sea type. Think
Yep.
Little Mermaid. Good Lord.
Think Little Mermaid, yes. But very excited. It's going to be fun. So I'm officially putting my order in today. I just had to put. It's hard when you're looking at just tiny little like wiggles of yarn for me to make sure that I've chosen different colors and colors that don't clash with what I already have, because really there's no point in selling if I've got 4 of the exact same thing but just by different brands, it's doesn't sell. So, and that's my job here. That's my job, is to sell. And especially now because well, it turns out I was hoping that at some point the lovely gentleman that I rent from here, he's wonderful, and I have nothing negative to say, but I think he's not retiring as soon as he had initially thought. So I gotta boost my sales so I can afford a bigger space. So if you feel like donating, go ahead and buy some fabulous yarn.
If you have an empty barn somewhere
Yes.
that's got electricity,
Or
we're there.
we can start a GoFundMe so I can be in a bigger space. But so anyway, that's kind of the plan here. We had hoped that this summer I would be moving over to larger area. It's not going to happen now, but that's okay. We can still shove a lot of fun into 300 square feet, which it sounds huge, and it's not. 300 square feet is like the size of some people's closets. Not mine, but some people have closets that size. So, but we have introduced some really fun new yarns. So I'm going to show you what we've got now, and then we're going to talk about some projects that we've been working on. So we've been working a lot with Rowan, and one of the projects that Judi is kicking off is a summer knit along. It is with, we're going to be using the latest Rowan magazine. their summer edition. And Judi is going to be doing this one. It's called Sea Stars. It is absolutely, absolutely adorable. And she has chosen slightly different colorways. So let me
get up?
see. Nope, they're right here.
Want me to hobble?
Yes, please hop over there and carry a bunch of stuff. So she is going to be using this as her main color, seashell.
With this.
Okay, and it's going to be used with this color and these as the pop. So I think did we say the crab would be kind of in this orange color? So she's using these. These are a little more coastal looking than the colorways.
And that came up bright, and it's not. They're very muted.
Yeah, they're very, the circle light is fabulous. So these are the colors that she's going to be using for her knit along. So if you want, we have one person that came in also the other day and bought their colorways. Tony's going to be doing this with us, and I will give you 10% discount on all the yarns. So
we're just changing the day. Because
are.
we were going to do it on Wednesday, and then I'm working for Tracy this summer on
Tracy
Saturdays.
decided she needs to not have a total nervous breakdown because
that's
working
fine.
6
I
days
like
a
working
week
for you.
is it's a little much for my heart and soul.
And tomorrow I'm going to work for her, and if you come in, don't ask me to get up, get yarn. I'm just going to point at it with my crutches, but that's okay.
I literally was like, please, are you sure? And she's like,
no.
yeah.
I got to get out of that.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going board.
So we were going to do it on Wednesdays, but I come here on Tuesdays and knit and help her.
Yeah.
And we come Thursday night. I come Thursday night because it's fun. And some weeks I open for you on Thursday nights. And we do the podcast on Friday.
Yeah, starting
and
in the fall.
If I do this on Wednesday and then I work for you on Saturday, I'm working here full time. I'm here like every 6 days out of 7.
Just like me, yay!
It's like, I don't think I can do that and still sew.
Yeah.
And I know. I just had to call one and said, I'm a week behind because I can't stand yet to cut fabric, but I'm back on track now.
Yeah.
So we're going to do this on Saturdays.
Yep.
So I'm going to be here from 10 to 2 on Saturdays. Come in. Even if you're just coming in and go to show your progress and go, look at me. And then,
absolutely.
Oh, look,
come hang out.
or
do
just
the knitting.
go, how did you do this? Because I'll tell you what, that is done in pieces. And then you sew it together. I am doing it in the round because I absolutely do not want to have to do color work.
Are you steeking then?
Yeah, and then I'm going to steek it because I am not doing color work on the purl side. It is a pain in the rear.
You must have to. How do you? I don't even know how you would pull it.
There is a technique, and I was going to look it up this morning, then I got busy doing something else, and I didn't. Where you can teach yourself to knit backwards.
I don't want to knit.
No. There is. There's a YouTube.
I'm good.
I'm going to put it
not
on
knitting
YouTube,
backwards.
but I it's like I don't know whether I can wrap my head around it. I'm doing it in the round.
So do it.
I just
You do
think it'll
you.
be so much
because
faster.
Judi just can never actually follow the pattern the way that
Well,
it's supposed to be because she's a middle child.
I know, I am, but you know what? That's a lot of pieces.
It is a lot of pieces.
I mean, you
to
look
not
at
do it
this.
around.
It's 2 sides,
Right.
a back, 2 arms, and then you got to add all this stuff.
And they don't do it raglan style for the arms?
Well,
You could.
you could.
Why couldn't you?
I know. No, it's not. It's pieced in. So the only thing I have to do is just be really careful when I do the sleeves. And actually, if I can do the sleeves the same and then just sew them, then I'll just sew them in.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem.
No. I mean, there's not a problem. I mean, clearly the pattern works. Just thinking out loud, as I do now.
Yeah, I mean, why would to do this back and forth? That's a lot of color work.
Why would you add this on last? Why wouldn't you just start with? Is it top down or bottom up?
It might be for this. Doesn't matter because it's a piece. I think it's bottom, and then you come
bottom up. Okay.
Yeah, and then and Rowan.
Well, and once you steek this anyway,
Rowan
then,
is English,
yeah.
English, and so
Yeah.
their directions aren't a lot. I hate it when you say, "Do the right side, reverse for the left side." Yeah. Because then you got to figure out
how to
I did that because
right.
I was afraid of doing it in the round, and I'm not doing those anymore. So, I'm going to do that. And again, probably have to play a little bit. Oops, because there will probably be, I'll have to do some shaping in the back.
Yeah.
But I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about it.
No.
It'll be fun. I just threw something on the
Oh,
floor.
that's all right. We can get it afterwards.
I got it.
Oh my goodness.
So, so where I am actually... See, you're going to be closed Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
Just that Saturday.
Yeah.
That's next weekend.
Yes, it is. I can't wait because it marks the end of the school year almost.
Saturday.
Next Saturday?
Yeah.
All right. I am going to push my knit along off a little bit, and I'll tell you why in a few minutes, because it's a bit of a story. So anyway, so those are the yarns that we're using for this knit along. There, we did get a couple different colorways. There's one that is for, could you find the child if they have it in there?
Well, that's kind of what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's kind of what she's doing is a little bit. And so they have some really beautiful colors. This one is called Summer Light DK. Summer Light DK is in this, and it's a 50-gram skein.
There's the kids, and then I want to show something else.
So here's the kids, and I do have one customer, Tony, that's going to do it in these colors here. Which,
well, mine are kind of like that too.
Yeah, they're similar.
I toned it down a lot.
Yeah, you just
and
changed it slightly.
If you want to do a little bit of color work, and you want to do a kid's sweater, I think this one is so cute.
This magazine actually has a ton of really
but you don't want to do a lot of color work. I love that little
This is
kids.
cute. This is cute little beachy. I don't know if you can see. There you go. So, the Rowan book it's great. It's a really great magazine. They have a lot of really beautiful, beautiful patterns. So we've got that. We also got a couple new yarns into the shop. So now we're working with Amaño. So Amaño is the brand, and it is based on Quechua. So that's a Peruvian language. That's of the Mayans. And the Incans,
all these
excuse me, the
yarns
Incans.
I can't pronounce.
So the Incans.
And then this stuff. She just shows off.
What we need to do is work. She's a little bit white girl with her pronunciation. She's like, we're going to meet with Manos. I'm like, it's Manos. Manos. Manos.
That's that Midwestern Appalachian type. Creek and pink.
So we've got these three colors, and it's so soft. It's really beautiful. It's a very light, it's fingering weight, almost leaning towards, not quite to lace, but...
I want to do something in those three colors so badly. So pretty.
They're just really beautiful. And it's 80% baby alpaca and 20% silk. I mean, how can you go wrong with this combination? I mean, it's beautiful. So I still have to finish. I started to try to cast off just a little bit of a sample here so that people could see what it feels like when it's knit up. So we've got that here now at the shop. We did bring, speaking of Biche and Buche, a couple new. Somebody needed to order something. And again, even if I don't have it in stock, there's a good probability that I can order it for you, because again, when you have 300 square feet of space, woo! So I can order it. So she was doing a sweater. It is in Biche and Buche. It's really cute.
I like the feel of that.
It's really soft because this one is le coton et alpaca. So it is.
She expects me just to roll that right off
Cotton,
my tongue.
Cotton and alpaca. So, well, I did study 5 languages, so that's my thing.
Biche and Buche, I do like their stuff.
So
I like
this stuff, and it's really soft. So once you feel it, you'll say, oh, I would like a sweater with this. So we've got that. That is new in stock. And again, if I'm not carrying a colorway that is of interest to you, I can order it. It's not difficult, and everything is now, the world's gotten a little more straightened out, at least with shipping, that I can get it to you. Things that are coming out of Peru is still a little challenging, but we're working on it.
And you know, if you kind of know before you come in what colorways you want, come in, then I'll write it all down if she's not here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can email me.
She gets this notebook that I write every day.
Yeah.
Here's what happened. She didn't read my writing because I'm like, real fast.
I'm like, oh, okay, what do I have to do now?
And she texted me, what's a WA?
Yeah.
I was like, wool addicts.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So we started also, this is the other one of the Amaño line. This is called Mayu. And so we got these. And again, it is a lovely alpaca, cashmere, and silk. So it's got that wonderful softness to it. And it's in a light fingering weight. So these are going to be great for some lightweight projects. A lot of fun to play with. So
colors are to die for.
They're just
if you're looking for summery
pops.
Coastal colors, and you can't find it in Maggie Loves Yarn because Maggie's a little bit behind now, but it will get done. I'll do some more.
Well, you've got some. I've got some too. So we'll show you those in just a moment.
I'm starting to do mini skeins too, but these are just gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
I mean, you want something coastal right there.
So we've got a project coming up. It's the Zig-Zag. I thought it was zigzag when Judi first brought it in. It's Zick, Z-I-C-K, Z-A-C-K, zigzag scarf. And what you do is you use two different colorways. I mean, you could use the same, but in this one we use 2 different colorways of this Lang product. This is the Colory Baby, Colory Baby. And what it does is it just creates this really cool pattern. And so we have a class coming up on this, but it is, I think it's a paid pattern. It's on Ravelry.
Is it?
I don't know if it's a paid or it's a free.
I think it's free.
It's maybe a free pattern, but it's a really cool way of working with increases and decreases to create this really neat.
And you know what's neat about this size, because I never wore and tied around it because I never wanted to ruin the pattern.
Yeah.
And it's just right for it to lay
Drape, just kind of
just
drape.
over your shoulder.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like you've got a shawl on.
Right.
But it lays just enough over that everybody can see it, and I always get tons of compliments.
Oh, it's just really
because
funky.
I just put it over top like that and wear it.
Yeah. So if that's something that you're looking to do, it is I don't know. Higher, advanced beginner, intermediate.
Yeah, I would say intermediate beginner because you are working with a pattern, but it is a repetitious pattern.
Right.
And once you kind of pick up on it,
right.
I think I got by here, I was like, okay. And then I could tell when I was off.
Yeah.
Not only could I tell when I was off, I could fix it.
Right.
Some people, if you start and you're not, you get it off and you're not sure how to fix it, then
right.
it can be a real mess.
Well, yeah,
because
you don't know where to pick it up and things like that. So those are a couple different colorways we've got coming in. I've got 5 different types of colors. Come and check these out. We also ordered this. This is a nice light cotton, but it's also got some acrylic and the viscose because cotton stretches. And so if you have something that's 100% cotton, while sometimes it's nice and soft and cozy, it grows on you. I mean, not in a good way. So it's growing on me. No, it's
not like fungus. But.
Right. Yes. It's, So if you want to play with cotton, it's always good to mix it with a little something so that it doesn't stretch on you. And so Medina is one of these. It's a Berroco colorway. Here I picked up these 2 because I thought they were fun. And this one looked like fireworks, and this one looked like a nice English garden.
I don't know what I want to do with it.
Yeah, it's just so pretty. So I've gotten those, and they are a lot of fun. And so we've got those coming up. Oh, I forgot to grab this. This one's a really fun one. Judi, entertain while I get it.
All right. So, what new shows would you like to watch? Because I've found a lot of new ones that are really, really good.
She's become a Netflix junkie.
Gordon comes home and I'm like, okay, I got two more for us to look at. And we started watching Transatlantic.
Oh, what?
Ooh, is that good? That's set in World War II, right after Paris has been, occupied.
Okay.
And they're getting people out.
Ew.
And it's good.
Ew.
It's good. We've only watched the first episode because I thought I don't want to get too far ahead.
Yeah.
Of going, but yes, you must watch that one.
Okay, so we got a couple new really fun blends in, and so what these we thought maybe like holiday parties, little New Year's action, something like that.
It started now.
So you got to start it now because of course you want it to be done by then. So this one, I mean, literally the first day I had this on the shelves, I sold completely out of one colorway. So this one is called Paradise. And this is the pattern book that we have here that goes along with it. And it really is beautiful. And the way that it works is there is silk that is woven through it. So it creates the color Paradise. It creates this really beautiful kind of pattern
shimmer
within the pattern. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's so much fun, and I made my aunt. My aunt is unfortunately not. She's got cancer, so she's in chemotherapy. And I thought, I'll make her a hat. And this is not a great hat making one because I wanted to do this one pattern that was called Ribbons of Hope, and the cable just didn't pop the way I wanted it to. But it's such pretty colors. So anyway, we've got those, and I just ordered a bunch more to kind of fill in what we sold out on.
Could you reorder that one color?
I already did. Good. Because it boom went that quickly.
It went within 24 hours.
Not even.
Oh,
It was. I had it in the afternoon when nobody was here.
True, because it came right after I left.
So we have that one. This one I thought would be really fun. In fact, Judi had done Manos, is that the name of that one? Yes, Manos, yes. For a wedding that she went to, black tie. So she wore this beautiful piece that she had made over her dress. But this would have given it a little different sparkle.
Oh, yeah, I know. It would have given it some spark. That would have been so pretty.
So this is the pattern book.
I didn't want to show off the bride.
Oh, I guess next time then. So Celeste has a lovely, and you won't unfortunately be able to see it with this lighting, but Celeste has, this is also Lang. It's got a little bit of, unfortunately you can't really see it, a little bit of sparkle, but it would...
Not overpowering.
No. Just enough to give it a little like, here I am, rare, to it. And we got a different one here, which is called Lumi. and I grabbed, I think, only one of them. But this is Lumi, and again, it's got a little bit of gold sparkle. The other ones are kind of silvery or gold, depending on your colorway. And it comes, again, I bought some pattern booklets to go with that. So tons of new fun yarn from Lang that we've got. And we do start a new color, Rowan. This one's called Four Seasons, and so this has been a big seller for Rowan. Thought I'd bring it into the shop because it is made with, where is it here?
Is that recycled denim?
Cotton and acrylic.
Oh, no.
No, the recycled denim we have too. That one's called Denim Revive from
that's
Rowan. But so this one's called Four Seasons because, and it's got this kind of almost like ropey feel to it. So it's kind of neat, and it will knit up very quickly because
And
of
I
it.
think it would be great as a baby's blanket.
Yeah. But
Or,
these are three of the colors.
we're going to do the slip stitch blanket. One of those would be pretty too.
Oh yeah.
Put it.
So
with
this is the fourth
Mix
color.
it with a variegated, and it would be really pretty.
They do have some other colorways, and again, I can order those for you if that's something you're interested in. And let's see, this is what happens when we're off the air for like, a month. So we got a little bit of Ultra Alpaca Natural. So we thought this was kind of a neat zebra style that we got
I love
here.
the way that stuff knits up. It's
Well,
always so pretty.
It
And
comes.
that is the
It looks
prettiest-
interesting in the skein, but I think knitting it up, it really brings it to life.
And this color, every time I see something this color, I'm always reminded of just a good, comfy pullover sweater
Yeah.
that you wear to the farmer's market on a Saturday or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah, definitely.
That's just what I think of every
Nice-
time I see those.
nice
It's
and
I
cozy.
love those kind of sweaters.
Nice and cozy. One other thing that came in, and we found out that Manos doesn't wrap their hanks.
Oh, did you get some in?
I did not get one from Rowan yet. I got one from a friend of mine, Denise, so this is what they're all going to come in like. So they were suggesting just kind of hanging them, but I don't have, again, 300 square feet, people. It's not much. So
that's how
this
it
is how they're
comes.
going to come, and I'm going to then have to twist them in to look like this for a hank, just so I have the
That's
space
really
for
thick
it.
to try and.
So they won't be possibly that thick. There's a lot of yardage on that one. A lot of yardage on that one. That's not going to be as much
just
as
put broomsticks across.
right.
Hang 'em over.
Giant
You
mustaches.
can be like the old meat market. You want that?
Yeah, get
Okay,
a
there you
stick and put them down. So yeah, that one I just thought that was kind of fun. This one's a really neat one. I may keep that one for myself because it's fun.
This would be such a pretty poncho.
Wouldn't it? Oh my god! I was just thinking like a nice cozy wrap
That too.
or a little throw. It's not enough for a blanket,
How
but
many's
it
on here?
609.
600 yards.
600. I mean,
Cookies and
that's a
cream.
good-
That's really pretty.
Yeah, it's really really
Isn't
beautiful.
that
So I
there
may
to do like a little.
snag that one.
Yeah, do a row.
So.
Sport weight.
And-
And you get a lot out of it.
Last but not least, Maggie Loves Yarn. So this one, I literally had it in. It's raspberry lemonade. An hour?
An hour.
An hour.
An hour.
Hour it sold. So I've got this. We've got this back in stock.
I did it. I brought it in. We did the podcast. Somebody
And it-
walked in the door and
Bought it right on the spot. So it was like 10 minutes after we opened. So we have another one of these if this is what you're interested in. And I got this one I love because it's got, you won't be able to see it, but this one's called Frost. It's got a teeny tiny bit of little sparkle in it, but it's got this very pretty, I think it looks like ocean to me and not frost, mostly because I hate the cold, but I love this
I did too,
colorway.
but that looks like frost on the yard.
It does.
It's a lawn.
It does. And some winter berries here.
There's a little widowberry in it. Not on purpose, but it's like, oh shit. Those are winterberries.
Yeah, whoopsie.
I learned my lesson.
Yes.
Because I tried to do all three of these at the same time.
Ah.
I will never mix dye lots again and try to do all three at the same time because that's what happened.
Oopsie.
Hey, take this away from me. I want to be a pom-pom.
That's because you're going back to your majorette days.
I know.
Dun, 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 dun. All right, so is that? I think that's what we've got going on. Talk about your.
We
your-
have projects to talk about.
we have lots of projects
You
to
need
talk
to talk about your email correspondence with.
Okay.
We are so proud of ourselves.
We
We
are.
are.
We are. There was math involved, and I persevered.
Math and emails and projects too. This too.
Projects, yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. So, okay, so I got this magazine in Fatto a mano, which means made by hand in Italian. All right, and this is Lang's magazine, the most recent one, their recent collection, which is 276. And I wanted to showcase something in here that is of the yarn that we're selling, which is Aura, and excuse me. And I also, which is this really fun. It's got a nice
it's
fluff to it,
pretty.
and it's really soft, but it also kind of looks almost like braided. It's this kind of funky style for this. So we have that yarn, and I was like, all right, well, I want to make something. When I loved this. This is the back cover. It is the cutest little, I know that circle, sorry, from the ring light. It is the cutest little vest. And, well, no one has to be subjected to me wearing a vest that's cut up to my boobs. My daughter is a toothpick, so I thought, okay, well, I'll
All
make
you got to
it.
do is have a t-shirt on and walk in crutches, because that's the way I showed off my belly at first watch yesterday and didn't realize
How
it.
fun!
Like, oh crap!
Oh,
I'm trying to
hey,
pull it down.
hey, what's up? It's my
I
stomach.
went to breakfast.
So anyway, I said, all right, well, you know what? I'm going to make it. I have the exact color that they have in this pattern. Perfect. And I'm like, it's just a vest. I can whip this out in like a week or two, as long as I have some time to just sit and get it done.
She's fast. She's fast, Cabler.
Fast. So I was like, all right, this is going to be, all right, so it's not a difficult cable. I mean, there's nothing that's too much to it. So I got started. And so the first thing, I always try to follow the pattern exactly, because if I'm going to either teach the class or talk about it, I want to know exactly what I was up against with the pattern. So the pattern, because the book is initially put in Italian, they also give you the inner workings of it in the language. So I, went right to my page. Here it is, vest, blah, blah, blah. I read through it. I was like, okay. And so then, I start going through, and they're like, all right, and then follow this pattern. Now, here's where I started to go, what? So first and foremost, it's ribbing, 1x1 ribbing, which it takes forever. Back and forth, and back and forth. Okay. So, and you have to do 1.5 inches of that. All right. Got through that. So then I started like, oh, follow chart 2. All right. Well, there is no chart 2. There's a chart 3, but there's no chart 2. So this we figured out is this. Now, you can't really see, but it's the worst chart I've ever seen. It doesn't actually show anything except a line. And I'm like, Normally it gives you instructions like, here you need to do this, or here on this row you knit, you purl, then you do it.
There's usually like a key or a glossary for you
something for you to go, oh, okay. So even if you're not familiar with what the chart is, they'll have a key down below that says, do this on this row. And cabling, it changes as the rows, progress, so that you get the cable look to it. So this is just a straight line. So I'm like, And this one they call cable over 9. So I'm like, all right. So I go in and I'm like, all right. So I get my setup row. So here I am with my setup row. Now that, P.S., this is about the 45th one that I've done. No exaggeration. So I'm like, all right.
Lifeline in now,
all right.
Lacey.
So I got a lifeline in now, so I don't have to deal with that again. So anyway, this one says 5 stitches rib. Okay. Now I've already done my thing. 7/9, because I'm doing the small pattern. So 7 stitches reverse stockinette, cable over 9 stitches, 7 stitches reverse, cable 2 right, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going, and I get to the end, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, this isn't even close to what they're saying. So I go to try to pull it out. Now with cables, because you've twisted your stitches, you can't just tink them, because now if you try to pull them from the one to the other one, it's off. So then you
pinch it
and
take it out, and then I'm untwist, and then I put them on. But
well, that's what I was doing. But when I took them, because it's got some slipperiness to the fiber, I was then dropping stitches in my stockinette, my rib stitch. So I put them on the needles, and then I went back and I was trying to pick up those, because I can pick them all up. So I don't know, seemed like 7 years later I got them back on. So I'm like, all right, I don't know how I screwed this one up. Let me try it again. Same thing. So then I'm like, oh my God, now this is a bit disaster. So I frog it. I start over again. So I go through it a third time. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And so I said this, I'm like, this doesn't add up. This isn't even close to what it's supposed to be. So of course, because I'm me, I doubt myself. I'm like, there's no way this is right, but I'm going to go ask Judi. So I send this to Judi. I'm like, tell me this is wrong. They have way too many stitches in this pattern, and it's your setup row. If you can't even get your setup row right.
And I'm way with you with math. I added it up 5 times. I get 120 every single time.
Yeah. So I'm going.
So I'm like, was there an increase? And we're looking for an increase. There's no increase.
All it says is here, rep rows 1 and 2 until ribbing measures 1.5 inches. Okay, no increase. So this is your setup row. I got it wrong. I'm like, there's 125 stitches in this. I'm like, this is way more than what, and it's calling for 4 cables. There's only 3 in the picture, which is a small. So I'm like, that, that doesn't look like this. There's only 3 cables. There's here, 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 and then they've got these 2 little tiny cables.
And those 2 little mini ones, they had you doing 3 of them.
Yeah, I'm like, this isn't, and it wouldn't even work on the larger size. I'm like, this doesn't even make any sense from how many you cast on. So I'm like, this is crazy. So I finally am going back and forth, and we're trying to figure out this chart, and I'm like, this is wrong. I'm like, there's no way this is right. I'm like, and then we had another person look at it, and I'm like, she's
Vicky
like, no,
from,
this is
from
Manos de Uruguay.
Manos.
Manos, thank you. So she looked at it, she goes, no, you're 100% right. That's not right. The count is wrong. I'm like, okay. So I reached out to my Lang rep, and she goes, all right, well, just explain all this. And, so I sent pictures of the picture and the thing.
Because
I'm like, I can't sell this.
No, you can't sell a book, because this is a book.
Yeah.
And then say, oh, but this is wrong. This is how you do it
Hey,
instead.
here's this great book, and these patterns are so beautiful, but they're all wrong. So
you do it this way instead, and it's like, I don't want the book then.
Well, and then what I did was, before I even resorted to Judi, I go, well, maybe there's a errata. I'm like, maybe I just didn't look enough. I mean, it's a newer pattern, so maybe there's a errata that I just missed. So I go to Ravelry, nothing. I go to Lang, nothing. I then thought, well, maybe if I just buy the specific pattern, because you don't have to buy the whole magazine. You can buy just pattern number 70. And so I go in and I buy that. And I'm like, nope, nothing different. So finally, I reached out to my rep for Lang, and I explained the situation. And so I sent this long email with the pictures and everything, and it came back, we were right. Oh, yeah. Yep, yes, that's right. So
these 2 math phobia women were right.
First people, she goes, because my rep goes, well, no one said that from me in any of my other shops. I'm like, I'm telling you, the pattern's wrong. I'm like, I'm trying to make the pattern. I know how to do cables. This is not a difficult pattern. It's wrong. And so we sent them in, and Lang said, you're right. Thank you for pointing this out. We will update and put out errata for this. So since I was the first person pretty much in the entire world to figure this out, because it's in 6 different languages.
She just wants a plaque. So.
I thought I'd at least have her ticker tape parade in my honor when I got to work.
A plaque at the Lang office.
There was no plaque. There was no yarn named after me. There's no holiday in my honor, and I find that rude.
I know.
Rude and wrong. And rude. So anyway, but so again, I know we've said this before, but it might not be you.
Exactly. It's not always you. It's not you.
It's not you. It's the pattern. So, and I'm always surprised when they put publications out that nobody tested it, but
I know. Well, and I'm always surprised when people come in and they're having trouble with a pattern, and I say, or you say, did you check for errata? Well, no. And you know what? That's just a fact of life now, because
right.
Knitting is so big. And I mean, what? Ravelry has over 9 million members.
Oh yeah.
And
well, and people are in a rush to get the pattern out and start a new one and do the last.
There's this urgency. Got to get this out.
Yeah.
And if you don't have test knitters,
they're not going to find
They're not going to find it. And with a publication, there's probably a real urgency, because they probably
have a deadline.
Hand them the yarn and go, make something with this.
Right.
So now they're on a timeline to get the yarn out while it's still timely, and show a pattern that would work with that yarn.
Yep.
And so it's like, and then sometimes you hand it to the typesetter who does the typing for the magazine, who doesn't knit at all.
Right.
That was a problem with Vogue for a long time. The people who wrote the patterns who worked at the offices were not knitters.
Right.
They just simply took the pattern, so they didn't catch a mistake. They just put it in the way they thought it was supposed to be.
Yeah. So clearly it didn't need, because it was asking for like 4 repetitions of this one. So yeah, that's right. So
it's interesting.
Bam.
Well, nobody has done it yet on Ravelry, because somebody would have caught that right away.
I'd like to think I'm superior.
I know, so put it in there. Get on Ravelry and say, do this. And then I'll put a comment like, oh, you are so wonderful for catching that.
Yeah, we'll do that today. We'll tout our own successes.
My mom used to always say, well, don't break your arm patting yourself on the back. Thanks, Mom. She
Yeah.
could always bring me down.
Yeah, moms are good like that. So anyway, that was my excitement of the week. And I know no one, I tried to explain it to my husband. He's like, oh, cool. I'm like, no, it's not cool. It's amazing. There was math involved.
I did. I threw confetti at her in the text.
Yep. She was going to be cheerleading for me, except she broke her leg, so
can't do the splits.
She can't. It's awkward when she does it. It makes me uncomfortable at work.
I'm ticked because I was exercising and I was losing weight, and now I got to sit on my ass for 6 weeks and then go to my wellness checkup a week later, and she's going to go, well, you should be exercising.
You're right. You're right.
I was.
I've been carrying this weight around for weeks.
Weeks
on it. That one thigh and glute is going to be like bam.
Yeah. Well, the boot itself isn't so bad until you have to pump it with air to make it tighter.
Yeah.
And then it weighs. You add like 3 pounds to it.
Oh yeah. Well, and pushing yourself around on those crutches, man. Oh, I hate crutches. They're the worst.
I do too.
They are the worst.
Well, and the good thing is I'm not in any pain.
Well, the good news is for me, because let's all know it's just about me, is now you're bored. So guess what? Judy's come up with some new things for the shop.
I did. Well, this was a Soho pattern, and it was just so daggone cute. It's called the Dumpling bag.
So cute.
It's not blocked, but it didn't. No, it didn't take any time. It took me like a day and a half to do.
Look at how cute this little thing is.
It's perfect to put a little You know what? I could put my project in it and sling it onto the cart or the
she could just throw it right into the basket of her scooter.
I want a little bell on it.
But
that's why I was disappointed there was no bell.
Oh, I think there was at one point. I think for the kids, we've got pictures of my daughter pulling him around on it. So this is really cute. I think we are going to offer this as a Knitting 102 class because it's really just learning to knit in the round. You said there's
stitching.
There's an I-cord?
Yeah, no. It's kind of like I-cord on the edges.
Okay.
But you put on a waist yarn, you knit it around, and I think you go 7.5, and that's a fraction, so I went 8.
Right.
Because I just round up, and then you knit some, bind off some, put some on holders. Then you just knit up and over 3 Kitchener stiff on the stitch on the ones that you put on hold.
Okay.
And then you do the same thing here. You pick these back up.
And that one looks smaller.
It is, so that you can go like this.
Fancy. And make a dumpling.
Yeah, and it makes a dumpling. And I use the fiber spade. And it only takes like 175 yards. So I had a ton left over.
Yep, so this is fiber spates, which we carry here. This is a really fun
it would be
green.
really cute in a linen.
Yeah. Well, we can do it in, where's my new linen? Oh, here it is.
I was thinking you could do it in that. It would be really cute.
So we'll try it out.
A cotton for summer. I did one like this one time out of a cotton.
Yeah.
And it's just a little one. Unfortunately, I did it in white.
Oh,
and so
yeah.
Well, and I lined it. I put lining in.
Yeah.
And so if I bleach it, it'll bleach the lining too.
Yeah.
So, but whenever I carried it anywhere, I got so many compliments on it.
Well, you know what? And it's good to have a bag that's specific to projects because my knitting bag has everything, in it except for the phone book that just arrived, which why are they still making phone books? But that's a different story. So this is great. You just put one specific project. So everything that you need is in this project.
Sleeve in right here.
Yeah.
And do it all. So yeah, it was really cute. I did it while watching TV, and we've been hooked on the Jeopardy tournament. Of
Masters.
They're so
good.
fun.
They're good.
They're so cute.
They are good.
I love watching them. So we've been watching that every night, and then of course I had to get Gordon caught up on Transatlantic.
Okay.
And then I found this stupid little sitcom that is hysterical. It's called Retired at 35. He goes down and visits his parents in a retirement community like Sun City, and it's hysterical. It has one of those stupid laugh tracks. That,
yeah.
Like, you're too dumb to know when to laugh, so we'll tell you when to laugh.
This is so
if you get
funny.
past that, Gordon goes, it really does have some good writing in it. So...
All right, so we're going to have this dumpling bag for us Knitting 102 class, if that's something you're interested in. I just can't believe how gorgeous this is. So, Judi, when she first put this together, chose more of an oatmeal, right? More of an oatmeal color.
I did, kind of like an off-white, almost an oatmeal for the background. I chose those original colors and then a background of an oatmeal. And the green just disappeared. You were here that night when I was doing it.
It just didn't pop. It just was like
dull. And I didn't want it to be, well, look at me, but now it's, whoa, look at me. So it's okay. So I'm ready to add the pockets. Remember I had to do the pockets first?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm at the point now where I'm supposed to put the pockets on, and I may have to converse with Kate a little bit because all hail Kate.
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm not sure, but then give me some time.
Do you
I'll
add
figure
them like
out.
at the bottom?
That's
Like, are you
what I
connecting
can't
at the
figure
bottom?
out.
That's so. It is weird. I'm sorry. Sometimes the
So
patterns are weird.
I think maybe because I did the top, I may do it, and then I think maybe it flips up. I don't know because it matches.
The pattern.
No, it doesn't because all
'Cause
I
it's
have
blue,
is
isn't
the
it?
top.
Is it
It's
blue?
blue.
Yeah.
So it's got to come in here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't read enough because but I'm ready to do the blue, and so then that means this is ready. I'm on the sleeves of this, so I'm getting close to Dagna. Then so remember I said I was going to switch. So now I'm on the boring part of this. I'm almost to the exciting part of this. So I'm not bored in between.
Yep.
So this was Kathy and I had to play with math a little bit because the Dagna is long sleeve, and this is so lightweight.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I thought I'm going to
this
do
is Manos too, right?
Yes,
Manos de Uruguay.
Fino. No, is it Fino? No, I think it's mine. It's not Milo.
No, it's gonna. I think it's
Serena.
Oh,
it's
okay,
Serena.
yeah, Serena.
Yeah, it's not in here.
It's very beautiful and soft.
So it is, and it's really lightweight, which is perfect for down here. So I had to figure out how many to add, and I've got it. So I think that's all the wider I want it up here. Cause see that? I don't want it any.
You wouldn't want it much more wide, no, because then
so
it'll
then
start
I had to figure
wing.
out to do 11 inches, and
Because it goes to here, right? It's 3/4 lengths.
yeah,
Right.
But I can't go. But it doesn't go all the way up to here. It only goes to here.
then the pattern.
And then you pick it up like the Islington one.
Right.
So I put it on waist yarn.
Okay.
So that I'm going to go the 11 that I think I need and put it on and do the rest. And then if it's, I'm going 11 inches is what I should say. And then if it's not long enough, I can add at the bottom here to make it where I want and tighten it up because I haven't put the cuffs on. So that's what I'm doing with that. Thank you, Kathy. You helped me with it, figuring out the math on it. And I've done all the increases I'm going to do. Except the first round I did decrease. I'm like, oh, that's not right. So I increased twice.
-1.
I increased twice. It was fine. It was fine. It worked out fine. So that's where I'm at with that.
Okay.
So I'm there and there. And then I started the hat that was in that book. Did you put the book away?
I don't know. Yes, I put the book away.
The Kate
Another.
Davies.
Oh, hell, Kate
The
Davies.
Kate Davies hat, the color movement. And this is the hat.
It looks so itty bitty.
I know. Well, it's because I got it on there like that. Wait a minute. Remember, this is the brim, and I've got it really tight on there.
Right.
So if you spread this out, that is going to...
It'll fit my tiny pea head.
No, I think it'll fit. Because see how tight I've got that in here?
Yeah.
It's not spread out.
Yeah.
You spread it out.
Yeah.
And so then I'm going to, when I'm ready to start the hat part, it's really a cute hat. You want me to get it?
It's so... No, sit your butt down.
Okay.
My good Lord.
It's cute, but it takes like 8 different colors. So I died. I just thought I'll do a mini pack and see how that looks.
Is it this green one?
No.
No. All right, hold on.
So I did dye my colors, and I kind of just dropped one.
You're okay. I get it.
Okay. So I dyed my colors. You're almost there.
You know I'm
It's
going to
near
miss
the front.
this one, right?
Yes.
So this is the hat that she just started. She dyed the colors, so she did her own gray.
And then I dyed these colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What did you
I
drop?
dropped a number 8, whatever color number 8 is. It's another blue, like a bright, like a royal
I
blue.
think it rolled away. Oh, it rolled all the way to Egypt.
Oh yeah, I got the end.
I rolled it back.
Just a moment. Smoke them if you want.
Colorway 8.
So I just started it, but that's a little tricky on the, I just started it last night. But that's one where it's knit 1, purl 1. But you got to
So
do,
cute.
But you do knit 1, purl 1 for 5, and then you add
The color.
color. And it's just 2 of them, and then you change. So that's just 17 rows of that, and then you do the, so I'm going to do that, and I think it'll be fun. And then if I get into the show in
Oxford, Mississippi.
January, I'll have these up as kits.
Move your legs so I don't squish
Sorry,
it.
with the book, and then sell them in the booth. or
That would be
whatever.
so cute. Can't wait for that.
So yeah, this one was going really fast. I just needed to take a break from 2 big sweaters. So I did the dumpling bag, and I'm going to do this, and then if this works out, then I'll do the mittens that go with it.
So,
Oh, you got some.
I did. So we wanted to talk about swatching because there are so many people, and I was also in this club, so I can't, can't lecture. I don't want to swatch. I don't want to swatch. It's pain. And then sometimes, like I've had literally for that one sweater, I just ended up creating my own. I had 8 swatches to try to find gauge, and I just could never get it. So, and I'm a tight knitter, so that's something that I have to consider, but not everybody is. So we had 3 people that are part of our family here knit swatches, okay? And they use the exact same yarn. So, and we told them we wanted 5s and 6s for their needles, okay? And so we wanted to kind of show just the different styles of knitting, okay? That...
Hand them to me and I'll hold them up after you do them.
So here's one, okay? And let me see the other one. And here's another size 5.
Look at the difference in size.
Okay. And
look at the difference in size.
Here's the third size 5. Okay. So with just 3 different styles of knitting with the exact same yarn and the same size needles.
3 different sizes. Look at that.
3 completely different sizes. So to get the gauge that we tried to get. Okay.
So if this was what you were supposed to get for the sweater or blanket, you're going to have to buy a whole lot more yarn.
Right. So that is definitely something as to why you want to do your gauge. Also, we discovered that the same knitter, okay, the same woman, our lovely friend Denise, she knitted 2 for me, and she did one in size 5s. So this is the one in size 5s. She did size 6 needles, which is this one, but she used different brands of needles, and that they look different. Okay, so not only did the needles, as far as the stitch, change like this, but it really changed the overall look of the swatch for this. So it is so important to make sure that you do a gauge for something that you need to fit. Okay, if you're making a scarf, I'm not doing a swatch. I'm too lazy for that. And also, Janet blocked hers. Okay, so hers looks nice and all finely done and beautiful. Whereas, and I didn't say to block it, so Arlene did not. And you can see it curls more because it's not officially finished. Now, I'm going to admit, I don't block swatches. Do you block your swatches?
No.
So,
no, I don't. If it's something that needs to be blocked, there's a cool trick that you can use where you wet it and put it in the microwave for just like 3 seconds.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But going back to the needle sizes, I've noticed when I knit with because sometimes when I'm doing knitting around, I'll use 2 different kinds so you can remember which is the front and which is the back. And I have noticed, and these are the Chiagus or the Hayahayas? The bamboo.
I think those are Hayahayas.
Those are Hayahayas?
Yeah.
If I've got them, and these are 2 different sizes, but if I've got them with my Smart Sticks, they look smaller than my Smart Sticks. There's been times I've gone, I'm using 2 different sizes.
Yeah.
And I get it out and I measure it and I don't. So I don't know what it is because it comes out okay.
Right.
But it's like...
different. It's something
different. It doesn't look the same size as my Smart Sticks. My Smart Sticks always look a little bit larger than what they are, but they go right through. I test them on all the different things.
Yeah.
And they work fine.
Yep.
And speaking of swatches,
and I've done that too, where I've played with bamboo versus metal, just to see, because I have a set of interchangeable needles that's part of the Knitter's Pride Mindful series, and I love it. I love them because it's got these really sharp points. And so I love them, but with slippery yarn, and I prefer, to be honest with you, I prefer straights. And with cables, for me, straights, it looks much neater and nicer than when I work in the round. But and Judi never works on straight needles, even when she's not knitting in the round.
When I did your swatch for you a couple Saturdays ago when I was here and I didn't have the right size, I borrowed a pair.
Yeah.
And I do like the way these feel. But you know what? When you're used to knitting with circulars,
yeah.
Every time I got to the end of the row,
checking needles everywhere.
Picked up.
My eye!
So let's lay this down and
All
try
right.
this. This is something new that's been out and running around. It's from Acre Works. And it's to measure your swatch, rather than, because sometimes you put a pin in and I go over 4 inches and put a pin in and then I count in between. So this has little teeth in it to hold it. It goes across this way. It goes across this way. You can almost not see it because it's so.
I'm gonna take this one out so it's not impeding your ability.
So what you have is 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches.
And we'll compare it to this one, which is the one I have from Chagu.
So you lay that down, and there's where your 4 inches are.
Oh, that's cool.
And then all you have to do is count how many those are.
Okay.
Across. So hold that up. It's got little teeth in it to hold it, supposedly.
So here is kind of how that works, so that you can just literally count the one row across for height and width.
So which way are you going to count? And I'll count this real quick.
Whichever one you want. You want to do
I'm
rows?
going to do 2.
Okay.
Go across.
Okay. So, and I like this one from Chagu because for me it's just easy. It's already got the measurement in there. And a lot of times when I swatch, I do get lazy and I only do 1 inch of height. So that way, and then I just multiply it by 4 to get your 4x4 square. But I don't for my stitch count across because you can always add length, but you can't always.
I get 14 for 2 inches.
14 for 2 inches.
Actually, it's like right in between. 14 is like right there.
14 for 2 inches. All right, now let's see here. What do I get for 2? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
12 right there.
All right, so 12.
Wait a minute. You got this on a half of 1. Now do it.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
So I had 12 like right there, and then
Yeah.
13 was in the center.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
They both work. They both work.
They work.
So I like that because it holds it down, whereas this one, I've got to make sure I've got it nice and flat. And sometimes it is hard, especially when you've got tiny, fine needles. It's hard to see the little, kind of, I literally put a needle in the hole to make sure I'm in the right one.
I do too, because sometimes I have to spread them apart because there's, when you're good knitters like we are.
Right, perfect.
They're so tight together. I can't.
Right.
I just count that one twice.
I know that's.
So anyway.
Plus, I'm blind as a bat, so I'm like.
This is what I did. I bought this a couple weeks ago. I thought I'd try it.
That's
This
fun.
is my Mother's Day gift to myself.
I love it.
Gordon was really worried about me being home every day. That's why he says, "No, I think you should go into the shop because if I'm home, I'm going to be on Amazon going send, send,
Sold.
send."
Sold.
So yeah, he's like, I think you should go into the shop if you feel like it. Get into the shop. He doesn't realize that Amazon works here.
Amazon works just about everywhere. That's the beauty
of it. So this was
of it.
kind of fun. I don't know that you're going to carry it or anything.
I don't know. We'll have to look
If
into
you
it.
like them,
Yeah, Acre Works. All right.
Acre Works. They have all kinds of stuff. And if you hit the
QR code.
the QR code, it comes up with all these different little videos that show you how to use all their products, which I thought was really cool. They're out of Knoxville, I think, Tennessee, or out of Tennessee somewhere.
All right, so we are going to do our drawing, and we have some Berroco bags, some sock yarn, some other fun little accoutrements. So I have 3 bags that I'm going to give away, and so Judi, these are from LYS Day 2023 on April 29th. Who did you pull? Arlene!
That was not planned.
She won the first one. Arlene! Okay, who won the second one?
Lori.
Simon! Lori Simon! Yay! Congratulations, Lori! So she won the second bag. All right, last one.
Jessica Myers.
Jessica Myers, congratulations. You have all won the bags that we did for our drawing. And we're going to have some more drawings coming up that you can register for online. So that way you can see, what you've got for fun. So, and thank you for everybody that supported my little shop on the little shop. I say little shop,
so
but
much fun
local
in
yarn
here.
store day. We had so much fun. The place was packed. It was really, really wonderful, and I always am appreciative of everybody who supports me because Bluffton, if you haven't been here or visited, it's just a great town. It is so much fun.
You can find somewhere to eat.
It's just
place to shop.
It's so cute, and it's just
music,
very quaint.
live music.
Yeah, but it's growing really fast. So what they're doing is they're pushing a lot of us little tiny people out of any store space that we can afford. So that's a shame. So the fact that you're supporting me by coming here, if you're watching this now, if you could subscribe, that helps. If you could share these things, those help too. So yeah, but I do appreciate all of you and thank you for coming in and being part of our family. So we did get these in. So this is the new thing that we are adding. These are, you know, those little parts at the end of like if you have a sweatshirt and they put these little cord stoppers on the end of the cord so they don't go back into your hood or whatever. These, okay? And we use them kind of neat for, yeah,
Stitches don't fall off.
Stitches don't fall off. And then if you're working in the round and you kind of, you want to keep the stitches moving along, you can use that instead of, constantly if you're, kind of pulling them along. So I use them for this. They definitely are nice and tight. You can see that I have to really push the button, but if I'm, just
they come in
flinging
all
around.
kinds of pretty colors.
And as we are working, I have one of our people here working on short rows so that, short rows don't just end when the row ends. They go back and forth and back and forth. So sometimes if you have to put something down, it is a good way to say, hey, make sure you're working on this needle, from this needle to this needle and vice versa. So that way you don't pick it up and go, what am I doing here?
I do that all the time. I use two different colors. And one is always, this is where I stopped. This is where I'm going to start.
Right.
And I do that on everything. I mean, everything. Even with these, when I use the little rubber things, same thing. Don't buy them all the same color.
Right.
Get two different colors.
So we're going to sell them with different colors, even though it seems like
what do you do?
counterintuitive.
Packs of 4?
I think packs of 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, packs of 4. We're going to sell them here, so I will be happy to get those out to you.
Because nobody ever has more than 2 projects going.
No, God, no. We don't have 700 of them. That's not what we do. Yeah.
My husband keeps thinking I'm losing needles, but it's just I have so many projects on them I have to buy more.
Yeah, well, and thank you for that. So, okay, well, we have we've hopefully entertained you for an hour here at the shop, and I always thank you so much for your support. Subscribe, please, at the bottom, and we shall see you in 2 weeks because we're going to do every other week this summer, just so we have lots of stuff to talk about, and we're not just giving you random stories.
Come see me tomorrow. I'll be here.
And again, if you want to do any of our knit along projects, I will give you a discount if you buy the full project here. All right. Thank you so much. Hope you have a great few weeks. And always reach out to me, shrimpandknits, all spelled out, .com. Take care.
Bye.